You know, Boise, I grew up in a working class family. My mom cleaned houses, and my dad worked on a small business. And my parents worked themselves to the bone so that my brother and I could have a shot. The American dream, like so many of us here in this room. And for a moment there, it looked like we were going to make it. We had a home, bills were getting a little less stressful to pay, and I was doing well in public school. And what may have looked like a modest life to others was a dream come true for us. But suddenly, when I was a teenager, my dad was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. And after a long fight, we lost him. My dad actually passed away in September of 2008, just as the economy crashed in the Great Recession and millions of our jobs vanished across the country. It felt like the world of my family was falling apart just as the larger world was falling apart too. Overnight, my mom was left to figure out how to provide and put 2 kids through school, keep our house, pay off medical bills, all on a house cleaner salary. And that's how I became a waitress, because it was millions of innocent working families back then who paid the price, while the billionaires and thieves who defrauded our financial system got off richer than ever before. And not a single one of them went to jail. And that is the story that Republicans like to mock, not mine, but all of ours, when they say a waitress or a working person is unqualified to serve in Congress. When the fact is, many of us here in this room today are far more qualified to know what real life is like than any of them ever will. And I tell this story not because it is special, but because of how common and normal it is. While the details may differ, so many of us know what it feels like for life to be one bad day, one piece of bad news, one major setback from everything falling apart. And I'm here to tell you today, Idaho, we don't have to live like this anymore. We can make a new world, a better country, where we can fight for the dignity of all people. And that dignity looks like living wages, Idaho. It looks like stable housing. It looks like guaranteed health care and respect for all of our differences, no matter who we are or where we come from. Oligarchy or democracy. Boise, we are here today because we choose democracy. We choose freedom. We choose justice. And that means we must choose to out-organize the oligarchy. We must do away with the power of big money. And that is why, even as a waitress with a long shot campaign for Congress, I decided right then and there that I would never take money from lobbyists and corporations, and I never will. And you know what, Boise? We ran against millions of dollars. We ran with no support. We ran with just the people, and the people won. And the people can win here too. You know, when I first got to Congress, I was genuinely shocked by how the place worked, even having run against dark money in the first place. The everyday influence of corruption and dark money was astonishing. And we, in Congress, have somehow conditioned ourselves to believe that it's normal for elected representatives who have sworn an oath to the people of this country to day trade individual stocks and make millions with the sensitive information that we are entrusted with for the purpose of governing. Just look at what happened this week. But how can anyone possibly make an objective vote on healthcare, energy, or war when their own money is tied up in pharmaceutical, oil and gas, or defense company stocks? You can't. And we saw it just happen with Trump's corrupt and disastrous and rushed tariff scheme. We saw Marjorie Taylor Greene buy that dip. I got one question for her. How much did you make? How much did you make off of people's despair? How much did you make off that panic? How much did you make off of that suffering? No more. We can't accept it. It was all, I hope we see now, that it was all about manipulating the markets so that he could quietly enrich his friends who bought the dip before reversing it all in the morning. Boise, this is a matter of fact. Donald Trump is a criminal who was found guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud, liable for sexual abuse. Of course he's lying and abusing and manipulating the stock market too. When he talks about rapists and criminals, he should look in the mirror.